Hi YouTube, it's eCurve Artist Zero. I am making my second painting for my YouTube channel. Um, I am using a chloroplast medium for my paint board. If you don't know what that is during election season, all your politicians are put their signs out on the corners of streets with their names and what they're running for. That's all this is. And then you cut it to the size that you want it. If you're uncomfortable with that after the election's over, I don't have a problem in the world going out there and collecting them by the hundreds. But if you do have a problem with that, Home Depot sells chloroplast in 4-foot by 8-foot sheets. You can buy it and cut it to the size that you like. All I'm doing here is putting down a white paint with Floetrol and water. That's going to be my negative space on my dirty pour flip cup. And that's all I'm doing here, is I'm just coating my board with white paint, Floetrol, and water. And off camera you will see, or you will not see, I'm getting a cup ready and trying to determine what colors I'm going to use in my painting today. You can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors with little Dixie cups there with my popsicle sticks in them. I'm not too happy with those colors, so I'm trying to decide what other colors I'm going to use. In the periphery you see off to the left and to the right, you see these little salad dressing cups with lids. I use those for all of my paints. Ahead of time I mix up my paints with paint and Floetrol, and then I just put them in those salad dressing cups and I put the top on them. They will stay indefinitely, months and months and months and months. I have never had any trouble with them drying out in those salad dressing cups with the lids on them. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm trying to determine what colors I'm going to use, and I'm trying to pick from those salad dressing cups of different colors, and then I'm going to put them in my flip cup, and I'm going to fill them up one at a time with the colors of my choice. So right now that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to determine, what colors do I want in this painting, this dirty pour. And I think you'll see in a second I'm going to go with gold, I think, is my first color I'm going to pour in it. And then I think I'm going to follow it by metallic blue. So yes, here it is. I used gold first. I poured it in my pour cup, and I used metallic blue. I'm not sure what color I use next. It looks like I'm going to use like a lime green, a cadmium yellow. Yep, I'm going to put cadmium yellow next into my pour cup. Oh, this is going to be a red, an off red, a darker, deeper red. I guess that's what I'm doing next. I thought I used the lime green, but maybe I did not. I'm not sure. But I'm just slowly filling up layer after layer of paint. Okay, I did use the lime green. I'm going to stir it up and get it ready. And you just slowly pour your first paint, your second paint, your third paint, however many you're going to use, into your pour cup. And you just fill them up. That's going to be cadmium red, which is actually looks like orange to me. And I do not stir. I'm not putting anything else in it. I'm not putting silicone. I'm not putting isopropyl alcohol. And here you see I flipped my cup. So those were my colors that I used. I used gold. I used metallic blue. I used cadmium red, cadmium yellow. I used lime green. And then I used a kind of a fuchsia red color. As you can see, the paint is coming out a little bit. I like that effect. It made it made some cells, and I tried to slowly lift it where I could get some paint to come out slowly, but that didn't work out. So I just had to go ahead and take the entire cup off and let it try to flow on its own. Here you'll see I'm adding some isopropyl alcohol, just a few drops here and there, to try to see if I can produce some nice, big, beautiful cells. As you'll see later on in the painting, it did not work out. In the conclusion, it did. It will make some webbing, but from the initial paint, you could see around it, it did make some cells, but I'm going to ruin that. I'm going to overwork this painting, and when I say overwork, it's 10 minutes of me trying to save this painting that I should have let go 9 minutes earlier. But I'm doing a YouTube video, so I just decide, you know what, there's a certain standard, and I have to just keep working it to see if I can make this thing come to life. Here you're going to see I'm using a straw. I'm just going to try to push the paint to the edges of the border of the paint board, and you can definitely leave some white negative space, which I'm going to do. You'll find that you really like that, or I like that, because that's the whole purpose, that you have that negative space. So you're going to blow it. Obviously you're going to mess up the colors, and they're going to meld and mesh, um, to form different colors. And you either like it or you don't, and I'm going to find that I really don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the painting up and I'm going to tilt it and I'm going to drain some of that paint off. But you really want to do that anyway because there is so much paint on this board, and you really have to drain that paint off first to capture the image that you're looking for in your painting, but also for this painting to dry in a day or so, you really need to get rid of a lot of that paint. But you can see it has some nice webbing effects, some nice draw to it when you're pouring the paint off. And if I would only stop, it would have been okay. But all I could think of is that you see on the YouTube, you see these people who do these canvases and they line the top of it with the crayons and they melt them with a heat gun. And that's kind of what I was seeing, and I just didn't like it. And at the top you'll see it's kind of got some running lines to the right, and I didn't like that at all. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pour this off in a direction, maybe at an angle, to try to come up with some lines or some cells to really make this painting pop. But the more I work it, the less I like it. Now I do start to see some white negative space coming out, but again, it's not to my liking. This greeny color at the bottom there is not doing it for me. It's the green and the yellow, and it just kind of looks like mud. It's making mud. So I'm not happy, so I just keep working this painting over and over, working this painting, trying to determine how do I fix this painting. So at some point I'm going to pick up my torch, and I'm like, well, I'm going to torch it. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I am going to pick up that torch and try to bring out some cells. I do like the negative space at the top, and I do like it at the bottom and a little bit on the side. And you do see that I picked up my torch. So I'm now going to torch it and try to bring out those cells. And it does work. I am bringing out some cells. But I still have that muddy, greeny yellow. I don't like that. And I don't quite know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to bring it out or fix it. Am I going to turn it to the right or the left and try to drain that off? I don't know. So I'm not happy with these cells. It's just not doing it for me. So I'm going to pick this painting up again and I'm going to work it some more. It just seems like it's an omen for me. Nothing I do can I bring this painting back to life to my liking. So I'm going to try to drain a little bit more off. Here we go. Of course, I'm actually doing the wrong side because the green and the yellow is what I really don't like. The other colors really pop for me. I do like them. But I'm just not happy with this. So I'm trying to drain it, trying to elongate some of those cells at the top of the painting, but it's just not working. Nothing I do can bring this painting back to life. So I'm going to set it down and try to think for a moment, what can I do? How do I fix this painting? How do I bring it back to life and make this painting pop? And that's what you have to do a lot of times. You just have to set it down and think for a moment. Turn it in a different direction. See what you can do. So I decided I think I'm going to pick up the white and put another negative space around the periphery to try to really do that negative spacing. And I'm thinking, that just doesn't work. It's still going to be muted and ugly colors. But then I got the idea, what if I did black? And I did black negative spacing. And I think you're going to find that it really worked. I really was happy with that result. So I start pouring it, and immediately you see that dark grain, that dark color of the black. And I'm liking it. It's the pop I needed for this painting. It's what it needed to bring it to life. So it's just kind of there, nothing going on. So I'm like, I'm going to pick up my straw again, and I'm going to try to blow it to try to bring it into the other colors, to try to meld them together. And you'll see it, you can't quite see it at first, but then it starts to come together. You start blowing that painting, the black starts immersing itself with the other colors. You can see there the black and the white are really coming together, and that's you're going to find is going to be the best part of the whole painting right there. I just blew. But I'm going to blow it alone, mix the black in, not too much. You don't want to draw it across the whole painting because then it will just be too much. But you'll see what happens. It's going to meld with the other colors, a little more blowing, and then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to tilt it. And when I do, I really like the result. And here we go. We're about to tilt it. And I think it's the bottom left of your screen you're going to see. Right here where I'm blowing right now, I think is where that painting is going to come to life. Let's see what happens.
Come on. Heather, come on.
I tilt it. Nothing. I tilt it. Nope, at the top of that black area. Here we go. It's going to be this black and white webbing. And it's going to come down and draw into the painting like a cave. There's the water, stalactites and stalagmites. I really, really like what happened. It just popped, it came together, and I was impressed. I was impressed with myself that I should have thrown this painting away, and I just kept going. So sometimes, here's the moral of the story, boys and girls. Sometimes you work it and work it to death, and you just have to throw it away. And then sometimes it just works out, and it comes together, and you really enjoy it. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and thank you so much for watching.